Let's say sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. My homage to the Blessed One, the worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Let's pay our respect to our teacher, Pinat Loko Swamin Hans. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, dear devotees, dear Dharma friends. So today we are gonna learn a special teaching. We already learned a lot of things in Mahāsatipaṭṭhāna, or the foundation of mindfulness teaching. So today we are going to learn the cause for the suffering. So most of the time, if you have this knowledge, then whenever you feel mentally down or feel any sort of suffering, you can overcome from that since you have this knowledge with this. So right after we learn this teaching, you can, whenever you feel a suffering, you can see the cause for the suffering within yourself instead of finding someone else to complain or blame. So think that someone said something about you which you don't like saying things behind your back. So usually when something like that happens, we have a person to complain in the outside. So we have did that for long throughout our life, but we know one thing, even the next time if someone do something such a thing, we feel pain and suffering. But this is a teaching. When we learn and practice this, here and now, you can let go the pain and the suffering. So think that you are in a huge pain, in grieving also. So when we have that sort of a grieving or pain, no matter how hard the others try to comfort us, it's a really difficult thing, like a terrible thing to overcome. But if you know this teaching, when you see the cause for the suffering within yourself, it will be the end of that suffering. So this is amazing teaching. So finding the exact root. So you may ask that, Bhante, so then why don't we learn this in a regular meditation classes? So the problem is, in a regular meditation classes, we can't just bring this teaching because first we need the right vision. So people who come and sit to meditate, they're in a position, okay, I feel stressed, so I feel depressed, I want to overcome from that, and I want to be happy. So I want to overcome stress, I want to come out myself from the depression, I want to be happy. So they already have framed I in this body and the mind. So then if we discuss about the non-self and non-authority over this, it does not work to them because they have a pre-belief or pre-vision, wrong vision about the world. So first, we need to understand what is the right vision, how we should see the world as it is, not the way we want or the way we like. Then when we have the right vision, we can easily address the questions. So the problems or the sufferings going on in our life. So that's why we can just bring this in a meditation class and just find a way to let go all the sufferings, and that's why it does not work. And if we try this in a meditation class, the meditation class won't work because since they are in a incorrect vision about the life. They feel like, oh, this is a place, it going to destroy myself. And then they are not ready to meditate, and they are stressed. They will stress a lot, or they will depressed a lot, and they will find a way to, hey, I should escape this place, and they will run away from the place. So that's why first we need to improve the right vision. So the right vision means we have to understand that no matter who we are, what we do, and what identity we have in this world, there are things in this world, those are common. What? Birth, decay, dying, and associating with the things we do not like, and separating from the things we like a lot. And wherever we have attached, which means that the 5 aggregates of clinging actually, so it creates the suffering. So wherever we have attached, it creates the suffering. It doesn't matter who we are, what political party we believe in, and what race we are in, what religion we are in, and the amount in your bank savings doesn't matter. So everything has this nature. That's what we need to understand, and that's why we need to accept the world. So last week we learned that what is suffering in detail. You can go through it and the recordings, of course, and then you can, next time whenever you feel a suffering, instead of pointing someone else, the first thing you can do is, okay, it's a part of life. So it's a part of this life. So then there is a question, why can't even though we know this, why can't we see it? Because we have goals in our life to accomplish. So everyone in a world, you need to accomplish your goals. Like someone may in middle of getting their degree, graduating. Someone may in a mission like, okay, I will work on this once after my children's at least go to the college. Some devotees or the Dhamma friends are in a mission. Okay, I will work on this once I got a good amount of money to myself. Likewise, we are working on some missions. So, but once you do not have a mission for a moment, think that you just practice just to exist, instead of, okay, I have worked throughout my life for different things, like think that you get a chance to just to do nothing, and it's not like you are going to somewhere to experience the vacation, then again it's doing something. Then you have some time to reflect, who am I, what am I doing? That's where you find something special. If this life itself has the suffering, birth itself has a suffering, like no fulfillment. So right, we don't see that because we are in a mission, like we feel like, okay, right after the finishing that mission, we feel fulfillment. Of course, it's not. But when we keep aside all the missions, what we are doing, and when we see the world, we see that this life itself has that, the suffering. Why? There is no fulfillment, and things arising and falling. Today, as a university student from DC, drive like 1 hour and came to discuss where she has a amazing talent in inside and things, and uh, so because of a relationship issue, she just started to think about her life. What is this life, and what is the purpose, and what is the meaning? So a moment ago, since I grew up according to Asian culture, I had a idea like, okay, I will marry and I will have children, and I will have a happy family life with children. So now, since this relationship issue, I don't feel it to move forward in that way, then suddenly I feel like a blank. So what is the purpose of life? So likewise, when we get a chance to think about the life, the wise people find something special. So whatever the thing we see it as a meaning, at the end of the day, it does not have a meaning. So the example for that is Buddha has given that our intentions are like someone want to find a good hardwood like a good trunk, but he's searching in a banana jungle. Whatever the banana he cuts, he ended up finding nothing special, like not no hardwood, but we keep on cutting. So what we have cut throughout our life, when we were kids, we try to play and be happy, like your children already does. At that moment, we feel like some sort of a pleasure, but it's not a fulfillment. And then parents ask, "Hey, then it's time to you to go to preschool. Then you can be happy." After preschool, of course, we can stop these challenges. We have to keep on move forward with that. After the preschool, it's not the fulfillment. Then say, hey, you need to go to the elementary school, then you can be happy. After elementary school, after cutting that banana tree, then say, yes, of course, you are not fulfilled in your life, but you can be happy when you go to middle school. Then going to the middle school, then have the middle school experience and the knowledge. It's not the fulfillment. Then ask, hey, you are now a freshman in your high school, go and enjoy that. Then not the fulfillment. Again, cutting another banana tree, and they, hey, you can be happy after going to the college. Then not the fulfillment, but have a knowledge and degree. Then after the graduation, you have to work on your career. You have to find a job. You have to join this competition. Back then, just only with humans. Now with artificial intelligence also. Not the fulfillment. Then people say, hey, when you have your own vehicle, then when you have your own house and everything, you can be happy. People have that, not the fulfillment. Nowadays, unfortunately, people can't afford a house, but like a mortgage or something in that age. But again, not the fulfillment. Then say, when you marry, you will be happy. Then cutting that tree to find a hardwood in that banana tree, but it does not have a family, but not the fulfillment. Then like a machine working then for the happiness of the children and your own, then children's going to their own world when they grow up, comes in like these months, like for the Thanksgiving, and then again going back, and that's all. And then our whole life is maybe in a house, in a room. We can't walk around. We will lay down on a bed. There is now we don't have the energy to uh, uh, cut trees. Now we imagine what we have cut through of our life, and we feel missing and nostalgic feelings. So my parents no longer live; they are past. My grandparents. The world is not the way when I was child. Thinking of those things, and last breath we inhale and exhale, and there is no way to make a deal to get another extra 5 breaths for even the million in your bank savings. So this is the life. So we have to accept that. Okay, once we accept that, the small missions are over suddenly. No need to compete for the Facebook likes. No need to compete with your coworker. You all in the same struggle. He also need a salary to sell, paycheck to live, and you also need. No use of fighting with the neighbors. If they can afford, they can buy the vehicle they want. So whatever. And no competition with your family, with your siblings. Just understanding. We are here for a short period of time. So what is the use of wasting this time for these small missions where we can find a fulfillment. We need a hardwood, but wherever we cut, it's a banana tree. So then we need to figure out to be happy here and now. We need to find that. So that person, they see suffering as suffering instead of asking blessings from the universe to not to get that sort of sufferings. They see it's a part of life because this life also itself has a suffering which we can't avoid. And then they won't address what is the exact reason for the cause for the suffering. So to that person, to that devotee or that meditator, this is the exact amazing nice teaching what we are going to learn. So you all ready?
The origin of suffering. And what is the noble truth of the origin of suffering? It's a craving that leads to future lives, mixed up with religion and greed, taking pleasure wherever it lands. That is, craving for sensual pleasures, craving for existence, and craving for non-existence. But where does that craving arise and where does it settle? Whatever in the world seems nice and pleasant, it is there that craving arises and settles. And what in the world seems nice and pleasant? The I in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that the craving arises and settles. The air, okay.
Yeah, please go ahead. Here to
The
mind.
ear, nose, tongue, body, mind in the world seems nice and pleasant, but it is there that craving arises and settles.
Okay, thank you. The origin of suffering. So, if you need a definition for the origin of suffering or the cause for the suffering, this is yayan tanha pono bhavika nandiraga sahagata tatra tatra abhinandani sayyatidang kama tanha bhava tanha vibhava tanha, which means it's a craving, or you can understand it's like ego, like or desire that lead to future life. Like it is the energy to continuity, like the consistency happens with this and mixed up with realizing and greed, nandiraga sagata, which means that it arises with some sort of a pleasurable thing, like a pleasurable experience. Tatra tatrabi nandini, which means taking pleasure wherever it lands. So in other words, like wherever it arises, it creates this pleasure. So think that as an example, as a human being, there are things no matter at any cost we don't like. Think that being a human, we do not like, sorry to use this word, the poop or the human or any animals dispose, which we don't like. But think that that consciousness turn to a, because of the bad karma they have done, their mind is narrowed and he born in an animal world, like think that like a gadfly. Then now what he refused previous life, now he is admiring it. That's the food. So likewise, wherever it arises, it lands with the pleasure. So that's the nature of that. It's not a personal issue. That's the problem it has, this greed or the craving. So this craving has 3 levels. So what first one is the sensual pleasure. Sensual pleasure means seeing beautiful forms, hearing beautiful sounds. Beautiful means to the person, the humans senses, since we are human. When it comes to human sense pleasure, sensual pleasure means what we see the pleasurable things, what we hear the pleasurable things, what we smell that the scent, that pleasurable scent, and what we taste has the pleasurable taste, or and the pleasurable tangible. From that, we all manifest in our mind a sensual world. That sensual world is not in the outer world as it is. We use the outer world, the things which can create that pleasure, and we create that story in our mind. So that's why when you see your daughter, okay, think that when daughter sees you, if you have a daughter, daughter says to you, if you are the mother, mother. To father, she says father. Think that neighbors also see your daughter. Even though you both say daughter to your daughter, neighbor does not say my daughter. They will say someone else's daughter. So likewise, think that you both, when you see your daughter, mother and the father feel happiness. But think daughter has a enemy in the class. When that person sees your daughter, they don't feel happiness, they feel anger. So likewise, there is no guarantee like seeing this form everyone feel the same feeling. There is no such a guarantee. So that's why while you like to listen to teachings this, someone may like someone else, and someone may strongly resist and reject another teaching than what they are believing. So likewise, when they see people they do not like, they feel anger. So likewise, like think about the political parties. The political leader you like, you feel happy seeing him appearing in the TV, but you don't like the opposition, what you don't like. But there are people who like that political character, but not to you. Your one you like. So that like, dislike does not exist in the outer world. Seeing things and manifesting in your mind. So that's why some people like cheesecake and some people really hate cheesecake. Some people like Marmite a lot. Some people never ever like to see Marmite in the dining table. So the differentiations happens seeing that and creating it in your mind. So that level called the sensual pleasure level. And then there is another level, craving for existence. Think that for some reason someone could manage to meditate and attain to the concentrate level we call the samadhi, which means the samadhi is the concentration where you do not have that sensual world in your mind. And of course, you have a great happiness, which is incomparable with that sensual pleasure happiness. So that's why people, when we say meditate, when meditation will let go your sensual pleasures, they will say, "Hey, Bhante, that is the only pleasure I have. Can't we try another way to overcome from this?" But sensual pleasure is like it's not like the examples are like this. So Buddha saying, someone in a prison, and in the prison, of course, when they receive food, it's kind of a happiness. When they get a time to rest other than doing the daily duties, even though they don't like to do, when they get a rest, it's a happiness. So there are simple things in the prison which you can be happy. But suddenly you get a chance to escape from the prison because of your good behavior. Now, it's like the happiness which comes from the non-sensual, but the happiness which comes from the inner peace and the happiness because of your concentration. So Do you want to go back to your prison and enjoy that? Of course not. So that's how the change of the happiness. And so that in their happiness, in that level of happiness also, there are two ways of creating craving. One to existence, the other one to non-existence. Because that pleasure also, if our mind won't have like be that without ceasing or without ending, that's where the craving is, and that's where the suffering will create. As an example, when you couldn't attain to a meditation state which you used to, you try, your mind does not experience that peace and happiness. Since you have attached, you feel suffering. And a craving to non-existence, this also the same like that. So someone want to like think that be the like take the authority of the non-existence, that means the cessation of all the suffering. And then he want to, for that he want to non-exist. So whenever you try to non-exist, that is the reason it arising again. So an example, think that if I ask you to, hey everyone, it's time to forget an apple. Now what happened? Because I asked you to forget an apple, it comes to your mind, and there wasn't any apple until then, unless there is a one in front of your screen, I don't know, nearby also. So it just arises. So whenever we try to reject something, it arises. So uh, rejecting is not the way, seeing the nature, rising and the falling, seeing the nature. And that's where the attachments and cravings are ceased or the ending. So those are the three cravings. So where does it arise? That's why I ask you to, it's better if you can go through the learning of the six sense faculties back again. So in here, it describes in that six sense faculties knowledge. So in I, the craving arises. The I in the world seems nice and pleasant. And okay, before that, it's better to go with this. But where does that craving arise and where does it settle? Whatever in the world seems nice and pleasant, it is there that craving arises and settles. So we want to know one thing. So whatever the world seems nice and pleasant is a conditioned thing, and it's a relative thing. So what you feels like seeing nice and pleasant may not the what I feel nice and pleasant. So like it's a relative thing. So anyway, so whatever in the world seems nice and pleasant, it is there that craving arises and settles. So where I in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it's there that craving arises and settles. So this is a meditation. If anyone used to practice six sense faculties, then they can turn that meditation to meditation on the origin of suffering. And then ear in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it's there that craving arises and settles. Nose in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it's there that craving arises and settles. Tongue in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it's there that craving arises and settles. Body in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it is there that craving arises and settles. Mind in the world seems nice and pleasant, and it's there that craving arises and settles. So starting from inner, that senses, and then the experiences. So likewise we can go. So as a meditation you can do that. I, you can simply focus to your, the focus to you means that bring your insight about your I It's not like creating an I in your mind, because it does not help at all. Sometimes when we do the six sense faculty meditation, some meditators misunderstand that, okay, I should think about the I. Think about means that like visualize eye, ear, nose. No, not like that, because there is no time to visualize. It's just rising and falling. There is nothing to do with that rising and falling other than the improving the insight about that, or the improving the vipassana on that, or the clearly seeing on that. So as to improve your wisdom, simply the reflected I is the world, seems nice and pleasant, and it's there the craving arises and settles. Craving arises and established. So whenever it's, you know that arising is one thing and settles is another thing. And you can understand it's like this things, think that you don't know what is roses at all, suddenly you see. And craving a thing that is, since you, it seems like a nice and pleasure, you feel attached to that. Now, since you already have attached, it's already settles. So the next time, whenever you see that nothing to arise, especially, it's already settles and it just will feed your craving. So that's how it is arising, and that's where it settles. So then you have evolved I with that craving. You have evolved I with the evolved ear with the craving, nose, tongue, body, other mind. So think that a young boy who never do not know had he didn't have any relationship with someone until 17, and at 17 he found a beautiful girl and had an affair or relationship for a year, and then 18, and at 19, at 18 they break up. Then what happened? Until 17, where whenever he sees that girl, there wasn't any difficulty or any anger, just neutral. Now what? After 18, whenever sees that girl, maybe anger, maybe like feeling of depressed, or any sort of a feeling can arise. Sometimes we may say, oh, that's about a young boy's story. No, even in 50s, that memories can come. Who knows? That's how it is. It's not a personal problem. So that's how it is. Even sometimes some people, when they listen to music, just arises those memories. So that's how it arises and it settles. So not only craving arises due to some person, maybe to culture. Think that. So there is a huge issue in any country. The country, since because of the globalization, the world, the village or the town which they lived is not the same after 30 years. So when they think about their country or this place, and also the people, especially often complains about the Gen Z and thereafter. So it feels like when what we have attached, see, when we see the world is changing, it creates suffering. So likewise, so to culture, to race, to religion, yes, people attach. That's why I fight name of the religion. Religion is for peace, but people break into two groups and turn themselves into pieces, even though it says the name of the peace. So that's the truth. So wherever attached, then we are like a slave to that. We want to protect that. If not, we feel like identity crisis. So that's why this teaching we need to in our life to overcome from that craving and be happy here and now. Right. The, up to that, if there is any question, feel free to ask, and then we can discuss on that. Maybe the question is not on me or to you, maybe for the group, then we can go through that. Yes, Tina, please go ahead and ask.
Bhante, you said that according to the teaching, it says in the sense faculties, it arises and settles there. What does settling mean? Can you give an example, like a real life example, like for lay people?
Yeah, actually,
Okay.
that's what Tina I said that young boy until seeing starting that relationship, there wasn't such a thing. Once that pleasure and arises and settles, so I think that at 18 they break up. Then wherever that I arises, which means that I arises mean I can't arises by itself. For that it needs the eyesight and the consciousness and the feelings. So then that I is with the suffering. How it arises, how it happens, because the craving settles in there.
I see. Okay. Thank you,
Yeah,
Bhante.
yeah, God.
Yeah.
Yeah, my.
Bhante, thank you for the Dhamma teaching. So nice. I had a question on the craving for non-existence because it seems like it's such so if you were to like your goal is to not come back and be reborn here, how could you not think like how could you understand the teachings and then want to come back or not have that wanting of not coming back? You know what I mean? It's like it's such a it feels like it's threading a needle, like it trying to understand the teachings and then also not wanting to come back, like having the sensation or craving for not wanting to be reborn after learning everything. So what's the gray area there? Like it seems like there's a little gray area.
Thank you for bringing it up. So that you know that problem comes with that I. So that I know we need to escape. That I need to escape is the where that the craving for the non-existence arises. And the opposite is someone feel like I don't want to exist. I want to I don't want to extend. I want to exist. So if I practice this, what will happen? What will happen to me? Those are the two dualities it creates. One feel like I want to sustain here, exist here, and the other one, I don't want to exist here because it's like to me, to I, it's a suffering. But I is the issue, that I is the misunderstanding. Once you let go that I thing, you see that arising and falling happens. Arising things like due to the contact, things are conditioned, things arising and falling. There is nothing to do with that I, which it is a diluted frame. Think in this way, Mike. So think that you play a game, but you don't know you are playing a game and you are in that virtual reality. You have your own character. Think that there are games like, I don't know, those are still there. They're like PUBG also. They buy clothes and they try to make beautify that character. And then first thing, but that character, even though we identify as myself, that character is just a illusion. It's not actually exist. But no one can say there is nothing. It's empty. No, it's not empty. It has its own computer codes, and so from that frame has created. So that misunderstanding think that someone who does not know all those things, what they know is just they have a character, think that someone suddenly wake up to this world and whenever he thinks that what game character change according to the wish, now he feels like this game character is me. And someone else then think that for a power shortage also everything disappear. He feels like I'm going to lose myself. But was there me in that in there? No. Was there nothing? No, there was something. Likewise, to understand that the craving to non-existence and address that, and not to feel the fear of non-existence, we need to understand that everything rising and falling, it's due to that there is, that's what we understand, impermanence. And impermanence create that uncertainty and suffering. And if there is like that, when it has its own nature, there is no authority, may it be like this, may it be not like this. Then you take off your expectation to take authority from somewhere else, and you remove that frame, and you feel the freedom. Then you be the freedom, and then you don't have that problem.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yeah. Yes, Linda?
No, Bhante, answer Bhante. Just one quick question. Bhante mentioned about how to do that contemplation of the six sense basis. I think I do it wrongly. So can Bhante advise again how to do it correctly? Bhante said not to focus on the eye and ear and stuff like that. So please, Bhante.
No. Focusing is not the problem. That like generating I in your mind, like, okay, this is I, and this I is impermanent, and so because in the it's I mean, even though it create can samatha, like a concentration, but it does not, like what you create in your mind, impermanent, and it's non-self. That means you created one in your mind and you see it, but in reality, actually that's happening. I is impermanent. It should be a knowledge. So if your meditation create freedom and the equanimity and like open awareness, then it's right. If your meditation just focused attention, and that meditation, whenever you do that meditation, while you do that meditation, you feel that slight happiness because of the concentration. But when you go to your usual life, when someone says something to you, if you feel hurt very much, then you need to address it again. Like, because seeing the nature, like seeing that ear is impermanent, it improves the insight. So when someone says something, I just avoid. You don't want to, hey, can you go away? I don't want to hold this word in my mind. Please go. It's not like that. You just see that rising and falling, and you see the feelings rising and falling. It creates amazing freedom in you and the equanimity.
Right, thank you, Bhante. It's the knowledge that is important, Bhante. So,
Yes.
thank you, Bhante.
Before that, you can just think about, okay, this is the way I is impermanent, and this is the way ear is impermanent. But when it comes to the contemplating, just it's like understanding the way it happens. So focus to the understanding, or focus to the insight, instead of focusing to some sort of a manifested thing.
Then, Bhante, in that case, the best contemplation is when we are at that moment, when we experience that in our daily life, like somebody scolding us. That's the moment that we contemplate, really contemplate it, Bhante. I mean, if we only sitting and say, I is impermanent, visual objects are impermanent, not mine, not I, not myself, but like Bhante said, it's more to the samatha side. But then from there, slowly we gain the knowledge, and then we really, when we face that situation, then we can use that knowledge to apply it.
Yeah, think that
Right.
someone said something, and you feel hurt because of that. Instead of focusing to what that person said, and instead of bringing that memory and try to see the anicca or the impermanence, just think on the knowledge of the anicca, impermanence, because even though you're going to think about the impermanence of what that thing, it's already arisen and fallen apart. So what arising in you is not what you hear, or it's not arising in your ear, it's arising in your mind. Why? Because we already have attached. Then you need to work on that impermanence on your mind.
Yes, Bhante, because it disappears for a moment, but it arises again.
Yeah. That's why tanha nivisamana, tanha established over there, craving established over there. That's what we just learned.
Yes, Bhante. Very, very Bhante. Thank you.
Yeah. See how nice and how nice this teacher is, Carrie.
I have a question that it's a sticking point that surfaces for me kind of on a cycle where, sometimes it pops up and then it kind of bugs me and then I resolve it. As we work towards trying to recognize and undo these points of craving and the ways in which that can create suffering, how do we do that without becoming like cold and distant and not wanting to do anything? Like a thing that I struggle with is sometimes when I hear these teachings, on the one side I understand what is intended, but then there's another part of me that hears what I sometimes hear out of that is we need to basically stop being motivated to do anything. Like we need to never have stop having goals, stop working towards improving anything, stop connecting with people so that it's worse for me is that, say, having a goal of any kind is a bad thing and we need to get rid of that. And wanting to reach a goal or improve a relationship or improve some other aspect of our lives, or all the way on down to things like, it's a beautiful day outside, I think I'll go for a walk and enjoy the nice day. Oh no, that's bad because you want to go out and use your senses to touch the day. That's bad, don't do that. Things like that. Like, how do we, for me, that
Yeah.
creates a problem.
Yeah.
And how do you keep, I feel like if you take the teachings very, very literally, then you become completely cut off from everything, and you are kind of already dead, even though your body is still, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like, how do you keep from
Yeah.
becoming cold
Yes.
and distant and
Right. So I would share them that it's not inactive being. You can do whatever the things you want to do without investing your happiness in the final outcome what you want to have. So if you spend your life, if you invest your happiness in one final outcome, then what will happen? If it does not happen, you will end up with anger and you want to take the revenge one way or another. And the other thing is, you will lose the happiness until you achieve your goal. So to answer the question in here, so you know that the lay devotees like Vishaka, there are so many examples. They had, so the jewelry what she had, I'm pretty sure no one is wearing it here because it's like top to bottom gold, and then it's like a peacock with the jewelry. So she understood the teachings when she was 7 years old. She married at 16 and she had 32 children. It's not a wonder in Africa nowadays also there is a lady, she has 36 babies. So the first one who had the first stage of enlightenment, so that it didn't stop her to have a family, it didn't stop her to wear jewelries, and she is the one who made a beautiful the monastery called Bimbarama or the Purvarama. There are some teachings taught there, Buddha, and it's the foundation is you can still see in the India. So so the it's not like forbidding or like stopping your daily things, but because in that way it does not help, because it's the wrong pattern of teaching. Like understanding means the wisdom. Think that okay, so in a country like Sri Lanka, pizza is something like a luxurious food. Like if someone eat pizza, if someone go to Pizza Hut, like a special thing. And in America, if someone eat pizza, I mean, probably he didn't get a chance to have a proper meal or to go to a restaurant. They couldn't prepare the food. So if someone think that the eating pizza is a luxurious thing, it's wrong. Like, so likewise, if someone think like, okay, uh, uh, think that someone want to go out and enjoy the world, and if someone think it's wrong, and if someone sitting inside of the house, then the same different things but actually happening the same thing. So if you feel more comfortable with having a walk in the outside, please go and have a walk. It does not kill any animal, it does not steal, it's not sexual misconduct, it's not telling lies, and it's not taking intoxicating drinks and drugs. And that's the lay devotee usually do not do those five. And if you want to go and listen to a musical show, please go. And if you want to watch a movie, please watch. But don't watch that on the days you observe the Uposatha. Only 4 days per month. So at that time, you imitating an arahant, you want to find the inner peace and happiness, which you really want. So meditate and experience that. It's like this. Think that someone get to know that okay, within 5 years you can escape from the prison and you will get chance to escape from the prison. So he's thinking, okay, now I don't want to enjoy whatever the things in the prison, because after 5 years I can enjoy. And he refused to eat, and he refused to get all the happiness which he can get from the being in the prison. If he is in the prison, you have to have that prison happiness what in the righteous way. Please have that. If not, and avoiding that does not take you to like stop you to 5 years and bring you to 2 years, because if you do it wrong way, because insight should be the insight is the reason. When your insight improves, because of that insight, you will get that inner peace and happiness. Actually, once you experience inner peace and happiness, either you can walk or you can just sit and experience that inner peace and happiness 1 hour or so without expecting anything in the outer world. And you will deal with others with huge amount of compassion. Like that doesn't mean that because of that happiness you do not it does not create any sort of selfishness, but boundless compassion. So that boundless compassion asks you to be nice to people around you. That boundless compassion will help you to make a tea or coffee to someone who living with you, and help the others, and be the listener when the others want. So all those good qualities create. That's why I think that just see the Bhantes monks without getting like no one pay, but they keep on teachings, wasting times in the metros and doing so many stuffs. So at without getting even no personal saving or anything. So that's the nature of that. It creates the compassion. So think about the teacher Lokuswamindas. It's not that easy to manage 1,000 monks. Do you find it easy to manage your couple of children? No, it's not easy. So compassion arises and it improves.
So
Sure.
Bante, It's just
Yeah.
living. You could still live and enjoy things, but not seeing it as it really is or are. And so not attaching, not craving it, but in that moment, just that's what it is. Like you don't,
Yes.
like enjoying the pizza, for example, yes, it's delicious food, but you're not really attaching to that actual, because it's the craving, right? It's cutting off that craving and the attachment. It's just in
Yeah.
that moment, enjoy it, or you're with someone, with your family, you're just enjoying that nice dinner, but then it will pass, right? So not craving, oh, I wish we could do that again. I wish, we can go on that vacation again. So enjoy the moment and just let it go.
Yes.
Is
Enjoy
that
the
the right
moment
way?
and let go. Yeah, that's the right thing. I mean, think that if you have any craving to eat kind of a thing, that a delicious brand of cake, that we have to see three things in any condition thing: asad, or the gratification it has. So enjoy, since you have not stolen it, it's you got it right, yes way, and enjoy it and see the full boundary of the gratification it has. When you fully focus to that taste, you will see that taste, you just see that the what feels in your taste buds, and you will see that the craving and the mind, the story which creates in your mind, and you will see the boundary of that. Once you see the boundary, you can easily see the second one, the danger means the natural impermanence it has. And then the third thing is the nissarana, or the letting go, or the liberation from that. Liberated means that when you have that, you can enjoy that. While when you're just going to put it to your mouth, if someone steal it, nothing will happen. You will just the salvia will come, then you that's all, but no suffering.
Excellent. Thank you, Bante. I have one more follow-up question.
Yeah.
Um, and this is something that I also struggle with sometimes. Do you have any recommendations for managing uh, guilt around uh, things like, so to go back to my taking a walk on a beautiful day example? Supposing, I get up tomorrow and I look outside and I see it's a beautiful fall day and the sun is shining and the trees are so colorful, and I say, "Hey, I think I'll go for a walk around the block for a while." And then I come back in and I say, "Oh, I by taking this walk, I indulged all of my sense faculties, and that was a bad thing, and now I feel guilty. I feel like I've done something wrong." Because I'm not supposed to do that. I'm not supposed to be attached to things that engage those sense faculties. Do you have any tips for navigating that guilt? Because it
Yeah,
happens to me, and
the
I
thing
know that
is,
it's
it's not the wrong
incorrect, but
thing. That's the issue. So
yeah,
so
I still
so
feel it anyway. It's just so silly.
yeah, that's you know what, when it comes to, that it's, we have to improve the insight and navigate through that. As an example, that in before learn from our teacher is bringing teachings from the Buddha's teaching, but there were sometimes when people misunderstand about the intention is the karma. Sometimes people are asking, hey, if you eat any meat, it's like you are killing an animal. So, but that intention is the karma. So, if there is a meat, if there is no any connection to that animal, I think that the fisherman went a week ago, a month ago, and that fish came to, that's how they came to market. So when you eat, there is no connection. But when we create that, if we create a wrong thought pattern like this is a guilty, then what will happen? Whenever you want to eat it because you like it, but after eating you feel like guilty. So we are the one creating wrong rules, and we are the one suffering on that. So so the better thing is, do not create wrong rules, right? which so we don't need rules because we are already fed up with rules. So please do not create wrong rules. And remember, sometimes people, it's hard for people. I will bring some scientific things. So naturally, most of the people, they have like a fundamental feeling neutral. Some people, they have like a slight happiness in them, but there are like I can't remember the exact percentage. Like there is another group of people, when they being neutral, they feel like that unpleasant, like it's like depressed, like naturally depressed. So it's like that when that mood arises, when there is nothing to go, finding a reason to feel guilty, finding a reason to worry. So it's like a fundamentally is being in our with us. So if we're having such a thing, it's better to find a way to turn it, to change it. We can rewire our brain. No, don't worry about that. Fill your heart with love and the kindness a lot. Practice loving kindness meditation. Practice gratitude. Those things create that happiness in you. So, and create, do more good things like helping others and do more charities. Then what will happen? Whenever you just rest, you feel like your mind has thousands of reasons to be happy. And when people see you, they just literally smile. And when they smile, it just create happiness. So then, because of your own actions, you feel that happiness and you don't want to turn yourself to that guilty feeling. And if you know anyone feeling that sort of depressed, then always finding a reason to worry. Never like underestimate that what they are going through. They need help. It doesn't matter if someone asking the same question over and over again, like think that someone yeah, maybe your family friend, don't just let them go, because that's how these minds and that's bodies, because we are differently built based on the consciousness and the karma. So everyone may need that help.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, let's wind up and we can continue from this next part.
Very
in the next-
valuable discussion, Bhante.
Okay, Ashwaka Manu, thank you. Okay, let's say sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Today, we learned the great mindfulness discourse, the foundation of mindfulness. So in there, the mindfulness on the mind contemplations, and in there we learn the cause for the suffering. One part from that, we accumulated many merits to our life. Let's share all these good karma, good blessings, good karma and good blessings with all the divinely powers, and if there are any private guardian to you, with them. And may all devas be well, be happy, and may they rejoice the merit you have accumulated, and may they help and protect you. May they also understand the Four Noble Truths in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Let's share all these good karma, good blessings with past relatives. May all they be well, may all they be happy, and may they all able to understand the Four Noble Truths in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Let's share all these blessings with our teacher, Pinnath Loku Swamin Wahanse, and all the monastic monks who live all around the world. May Bhantes be well and happy. May Bhantes able to understand the Four Noble Truths in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Let's share all these good blessings with all of our especially with our wonderful volunteers and all the meditators and the Dhamma listeners, devotees who came together to learn the teachings of the Buddha. May you all be well, may you all be happy, and may all good wishes come true, and may you all able to practice the teachings of the Buddha more and more, and understand the Four Noble Truths in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Bante. Oh, sorry, Bante. Allow us to share merit with Bante and ask for forgiveness. Okasa wandami Bante.
Sakya.
Maya katang punyang samina anumoditabang.
Sadhu, sadhu, namo dami.
Samina katang punyang mayhang databang.
Sadhu, sadhu, namo dami.
Sadhu sadhu anumodami. Okasa dwaratena katang sabang acayang kamatame Bante.
Kamami kamatamba.
Okasa kamami Bante. Dutiyampi okasa kamami Bante. Tatiyampi okasa kamami Bante. Sadhu,
Nibbana.
sadhu, sadhu.
Namo Buddhaya.
Bante, Devan Salai.
Theravada.